present about our project, which is electricity billing system. So for the proposals part, the objective of this project is to develop a web-based electricity billing system with strong database security, which focus on secure management of user data, billing records, and customer feedback. So we apply real database security mechanisms and not just the application logic. So the key security goals for this project is to implement role-based access control, ensure row-level security, use transparent data encryption, enable audit logging, and also apply strike and drag to identify and assess the security threats for this application. And we also ensure the compliance with PDPA 2010 for the data protection principles. So for the system overview, we have 3 roles. We got customer, staff, and admin. And this system uses a 3-tier architecture which has presentation layer, application layer, and also data layer, and which we focus on the SQL server. For the access control strategy, in the application layer, we uses JWT authentication and also role check middleware. And for the database layer, we focuses on the SQL server roles control table access, like for example, RIS filters rows by custom ID. And for the database design, we have a central profile table for authentication, so especially for the customer, and we got role specific tables for customer, staff, and admin. So for these core business tables are the electric bill, tariff, and audit, and feedback. And audit log will record all the critical database operations made. So for the database security plan, we have RBAC limits database actions per row, RIS, row level security. So ensure data isolation between customers, encryption, which we apply to protect data, and audit logs to provide traceability and accountability. And lastly, we have this privilege applied across all users. And that's all from me.
Okay, next for task 2 is implementation of the application. And this is our ER diagram. And in the ER diagram, we are 9 tables, which is profile, customer, staff, admin, tariff, electric bills, feedback reply, and audit log. And for our SQL server setup, we use the SSMS as our database. And for our backend environment, we use Node.js and Express. And for the front end, we use React. Okay, next is implementation of database security. And this is the SQL queries for the RBAC. And next is row level security queries, and also transparent data encryption TDE, and also auditing. Now I will demo the system. First, we log in as admin first. And this is our admin dashboard. And here we can see the billing statistic and the recent feedback from the customer. And for the admin can view all the user, including the customer, staff, and also admin. And also admin can manage the customer, which is at the customer. And also, if you appear at the managed customer list after that, and admin also can view all the bills and all the feedback from the customer. Next, I will go the staff account. And And this is the staff dashboard overview. You can see that the all electricity bills in the main page. And also staff also can view all the customer and also all the customer feedback. Staff also can update the status of customer after update. Next, I will go to customer page. And in customer page, you can see that the electricity bill is appear in the main page. And customer also can give the feedback. This is the latest feedback. Okay, that's all for the system demo.
I will introduce about our task 3, which is the trade modeling. So basically, we use strike analysis for our first trade modeling. We have the spoofing, and we use the JWT tokens to mitigation it. And we have the second is tempering, and we use the parameterized SQL query to prevent the SQL manipulation. And the third one is the repetition. So we have audit log to prevent this trade happens. So the next one is the information disclosed. So the RSL can as a mitigations to fix these threats. So the next one is deny of service, which we have the set the database connection pooling limits to limit the number of concurrent connection. And the last one is evaluations of privilege. So we have the role-based access control switch to enforce the role checks on the all protected endpoints to prevent privilege escalation. So the next model is the trade risk scoring. So we have trade 1 is the SQL injection attack. So we get the trade rating is 7, and the second trade is the brute force password attack. So we get the result is the trade rating is 6. So let's enter the task 4. Task 4 is the PDPA 2010's complaints. So first we have the personal categorization, and we have 3 system roles, which is electric billing company, customer, and admin staff. So basically it's their definition and their responsibility to take in this system. So the next one is the data life cycle and the complaints mapping. So we have the data stage, we have the collection data stage, and the person, we have introduced the person in charge and also the penalty for the non-compliance. And we have storage stage, processing stage, maintenance stage, and also the access update stage. So the last one is the destruction stage, which have, so this stage have their principle, they have relevance to the PDPA principle, and also have their person in charge, and they need to take the responsibility to avoid the penalty for the non-compliance phase. So that's all for me for the task 3 and the task 4 introduction.
So for a security measure implementation, for RPAC, as you can see, the customer cannot view all bills, but only their own bills. However, the admin can view all the bills. And for the RLS test, we can see that unprivileged will have no, we will not be able to see any row, 0 rows. However, the admin, the same query, showing that privileged rows can access the data. And customer context only show their own rows. For audit, any performed on insert or update operation, then record will appear in the audit log, like in the image. And last but not least, encryption at rest, we have the encryption applied. As you can see, it's encrypted is equals to 1. And that's all for us for this presentation for this project. And thank you so much.
Stop.